Yo, what's up? Just chilling here with one of my 15 wives.
Sir, Heyzeus dropped a video about the fano drama.
Okay. It's been like a year, but I guess it's good that he's finally calling him out. I don't know.
No, sir. He defended fano and targeted you for some reason.
What?
Group ships, staggered line. Shipmaster, they outnumber us 3-1.
Then it is an even fight.
All cruisers fire at will. Burn their mongrel hides.
Bitch tryna get wife with my dick, she can't get up. Smoke up by the pot, if you want it, we can get up. Talk down on the roof, when the tech ain't have to get up. Bitch want my loot, what she want, she can't get none. Chicken noodle soup, chopper cook a nigga shit up. I don't want no love, bitch.
Alright guys, so we're gonna go ahead and start here.
Internet to absolute cringe. And with that out of the way, the drama should have ended, but it didn't. And
By the way, this is, I'm already starting here, yeah, we're already pausing. So, this whole, weird, joke thing that he does throughout the video where he's like, the drama didn't end, it kept going. You're literally making a video about a year-old drama that is already buried. You're literally continuing the drama by making this video. The reason that I'm making this response is because you made this video. So I don't know why he has this weird, pompous attitude, oh, this stupid drama, I'm so above it, why does it keep going on? And then he literally just continues the drama by making this video.
And this is where things started going off the rails. Basically, if you look at the replies to this tweet, you might notice a common theme. Manipulation, manipulation, manipulation. All these people seem to be accusing him of this thing called manipulation. So I'm going to explain how this manipulation works.
Now, I'll go ahead and explain it real quick. So when you manipulate something, it's when you own it and you have a vested interest in it, and then you go ahead and tell other people to buy it. If you fail at the manipulation, then you just end up losing money, and if you succeed at the manipulation, then you end up making money. But the only two factors that matter here is that you have a vested interest and you push it on other people. Heyzeus later in this video tries to make this weird rule that you have to make money off of the investment in order for it to be considered manipulation, but that's a very, very dumb way to look at it. You can't just go around being like, oh yeah, everybody that's an investment YouTuber can just buy a whole bunch of an item and then go push it in their videos, because if they don't make money off of it, then it's okay. And by the way, I totally agree with him on this point. If we go to my document, my original document, which by the way, he said this was 29 pages or something. It's 21 pages, and most of them are images. So, I don't know where he got that calculation from. This is probably a 10-page document, maybe less, without the images on it. I don't really know. There's not very much text, though, so I don't really know what he was talking about. Okay, so here's the manipulation section of my document, and literally, if you read it, we arrive at the main thing that people are clowning on fano about right now, market manipulation. I won't even touch on his Ens Hollow post because there's no clear evidence that he even owns Ens Hollows besides the ones that he bought to own the haters, because he owns 25 of them that he bought after he made the tweet just to be like, oh, haha, stupid haters. Look at me, I'm manipulating it. It was really stupid. But yeah, there was no evidence that he even owned them, prior to buying them to own the haters. So I, didn't even touch on the Ens Hollow thing. So yeah, I agree with Heyzeus on that. It was kind of a stupid thing to criticize fano about in the first place, because even though the tweet was really dumb and it was funny to make jokes about it or whatever, it was definitely not classified as manipulation because we had no proof that he actually owned them.
It took just 2 days for the first expose to drop, a 29-page Google
21, again, it says 21 on the Google Doc, and then again, it's mostly images. I don't know why he said that. He's just trying to gas it up or something. I don't know. I had people in the comments that literally took that number. They said, oh yeah, 29-page document. Nalo has no life. Bro, this took me 30 minutes to make. Literally. This was not a big deal. I made this in the morning. I remember exactly when it happened. It was they had the Ens Hollow tweet came out, and I came here and wrote a couple things, wrote a couple paragraphs, and then just pasted the pictures, and that was it. It was 30 minutes to make this document. I honestly don't understand why people had this weird idea that it was like my magnum opus.
Google Doc by a creator called Nalo. Now, this doc declared it was going to prove 3 points. That Fano is intentionally trying to separate his viewers from their money, that Fano has no idea what he's talking about, and that Fano has tried to manipulate his investments for his own personal gain. Now, just a quick disclaimer going into the document, Nalo's thrown a lot of stuff into here that he doesn't bother elaborating on, and it's not obvious what point it proves. I will be skipping.
I'm not really sure what he's talking about there. Like, okay, so like, what did he not elaborate on? What did he talk about this? Like, the lack of knowledge. Okay, I don't know. The X-ray package thing, this is very elaborated on. He didn't talk about that in the video, like this section specifically. He talked about the X-ray package thing, but not this specifically. And then here's like some Discord messages. Yeah, like he didn't really look over this very much. I'm not really sure what he didn't go over though, because like honestly, he kind of went over everything. I don't know. Maybe it was this that he skipped over. I don't know. Like, I think he did skip over this, but yeah. He skipped over this, which I think is really stupid, and it's actually one of the main points that he makes in his video. He shouldn't have skipped over this, and I'll tell you in a while later why.
A lot of this stuff, just mentioning that going in. Now, for point number 1. The document's evidence that Fano is trying to separate his viewers from their money is that Fano has a Patreon where you can pay for investment advice, and
okay, so that already proves the point. Like, that already proves it. If you have a Patreon where you are selling people investment advice, you are separating people from their money. They have to pay you in order to access the Patreon and in order to access the advice. So that is quite literally the definition of separating someone from their money.
Nalo personally doesn't agree with that because he thinks creators have a moral obligation to make investment advice easily accessible. And
I do think that. That's why all of my investment advice everywhere, Discord, YouTube, etc., is completely free. I don't think that it's hard to figure out CS investing, and I've tried to make beginner guides and stuff like that before to show you how easy it is to learn. It's not complicated. We don't have like dividend yields and ETFs and all of these other security terms and everything you have to learn. It's not difficult to get into it, especially if you're already into CS skins. So for that reason, I feel like it's just wrong to make people pay you for the advice, because like I'm just slightly more knowledgeable than like the average person about CS investing, you know? And like I've taught noobs how to do it. I've sat in a call and taken like an hour to teach a noob how to do it. You know, it's not something that's like super hard. If an item looks good and people like it and it has like a good supply basis, then it's probably going to perform pretty well. If the item is discontinued, it's probably going to perform pretty well. It's not exactly hard to get into this. And so I don't think it's something that warrants taking money from people about. But yeah, so that's why I have a moral thing against it. But do realize that a moral argument is totally opinionated. It's based on my moral code. It's not based on Heyzeus' moral code or whatever. It's totally like completely subjective thing. So yeah, I never argued that like he objectively cannot have this Patreon and everybody should agree with me. I'm not forcing anyone to agree with me on that opinion. It's totally a moral thing. And also, by the way, like the thing he didn't highlight there, you can read it yourself. At the end of the day though, I can agree that purchasing these tiers is a personal choice. I do not agree with the moral fundamentals of it or the predatory way that it exists. So like I'm saying right there, you can go buy the Patreon. It's, you know, you have free agency over your decisions. Go do it. Like, I'm not going to stop you from doing it. I just have a moral issue with it.
Ask. So what? Who's invented this rule that you can't have a Patreon for this?
And so see, now Heyzeus misinterprets that, and he goes, oh, this is a moral issue, but someone has invented this rule. No, there's no rule. There's no hard rule. It's not an objective fact. I've always presented this opinion as a subjective opinion. I've always called it a moral opinion. You called it a moral opinion in the video. So I don't know why you're like analyzing this and being like, oh, it's a rule that everybody has to follow, because I never said that. I never claimed it was a rule.
Sort of stuff. I definitely wouldn't recommend paying for skins investment advice, but
so you agree with me, at least, on that.
Just because you...
And then he does this, which is like, bro, come on. Like, this is literally, I have made you the soy Wojak and me the Chad Wojak. Like, dude, you don't have to represent me as this angry person in the GIF. Like, I'm chill, bro. I don't know. I thought that was stupid. I thought it was dumb. I thought it was like, I've already made you the soy Wojak.
feel a certain way about something doesn't automatically mean someone is wrong to do that thing.
Okay, no, that's not true. If you feel that something is wrong for someone to do, then to you, it's wrong for them to do it, okay? I never claimed that it was wrong for everybody. I never claimed that everybody's going to agree with me, but I find it wrong, so it's wrong to me. That was my whole point, okay? I'm not saying that everybody has to find it wrong. It's just wrong to me.
But still, the quality of Fano's advice does matter, and
Okay, so that's the next section, but I do want to touch on something here. So he mentions here, wait, we've got to backtrack a little bit here.
just because you feel a certain way about something, into this rule that you can't have a Patreon for this sort of stuff.
Who invented this rule that you can't have a Patreon for this sort of stuff? So I want to touch on that, because what he's essentially saying there is that, like, these investment advice Patreons already exist. They exist in other capacities, okay? So, like, who made this rule that you're not allowed to have it? That's essentially what he's saying there. Now, that's why I said that it was a problem that he skipped over this part, because I was mentioning that the other investment advice discords are these like scummy pay to access stock options discords where you like have these like, oh, here's these strikes you buy and sell at and whatever on these other discords. And these are like crappy. These are like the shit where you go on TikTok and you see somebody that's like in a yacht and it's like a fake video that they stole from someone. And they're like, tap in if you want to learn how to become financially free. Go click on my Discord link in the bio. Like, they're those kind of videos. And nobody likes those. I don't like them. They're stupid. They're total scams. You go into the Discord and it's like something they got off of ChatGPT, you know? Like, it's complete, total BS. And I don't think those Discords should exist. I think those are stupid. And the person who's giving you that advice probably has like $50 in their Robinhood account. You know what I mean? Like, they don't know what they're talking about. And the same thing is happening here with Fano, where you're just paying for bad advice by somebody who doesn't know what they're talking about. So just because a bunch of really crappy, really shitty Discords exist that you have to pay for does not mean that it's okay for Fano to do the same thing, right? Like, that's a weird argument to make. The other Discords are shitty. Fano's is also shitty. Like, you can't just justify it by saying that other ones exist. Basically, TLDR, what it boils down to is you can't say that something is okay just because it happens, okay? That's not how it works. It's not automatically moral good just because it happens. Like, just because a bunch of military wives cheat on their husbands does not make it okay to cheat on your husband. You know what I mean?
Nalo states he's going to show that Fano doesn't even understand some of the basics of skins investing. Now, Nalo starts off this section by spending 3 pages talking about a single video Fano made 4 years ago. Now, this video is dumb and wrong, and Fano is probably very embarrassed about it, but if you are trying to prove that Fano doesn't know what he's talking about today, a video from 4 years ago isn't particularly relevant.
Why? Go ahead, Heyzeus. Explain to me why. Why is it irrelevant because he made the video 4 years ago? He still made the video. Like, just because it was made 4 years ago does not make the video irrelevant. He still made the video. He still sat there, thought it up in his head, saw this thing that was incredibly stupid to invest into, that anyone at the time could have figured out was stupid to invest into. Like, you can look in the Discord, or sorry, in the document, you can literally see on the Discord messages, these are old Discord messages, right? 2020, this is a 2020 Discord message. All of these are 2020 Discord messages where we're literally saying it's stupid that he made the X-ray package video, okay? We could have figured this out way longer than the 4 years ago argument is so stupid. It's like, oh, someone did this thing in 2020 that was really dumb and now it's not relevant in 2024. No, it's still relevant, okay? It still displayed that he had a complete lack of knowledge and was still making the content. Look at this from Reddit, CSGO Market Forum, 4 years ago. It says it in the screenshot, 4 years ago. YouTuber posts a video about X-ray package, and guess what? And then you look at these comments from 4 years ago. You can see that these are all, you know, videos from Fano that they're talking about, and that this is all them calling the video stupid. 4 years ago, we knew this video was stupid, okay? It's not like a hindsight thing. We're not 4 years in the future and can suddenly find out that his X-ray package video was stupid. 4 years ago, we knew it was stupid. It's a stupid video to make, and just because it was made 4 years ago doesn't make it irrelevant. That's a stupid argument, and there's literally no impact statement here.
Nalo then shows 2 videos.
Like, look, that's it. That was his whole argument. His whole argument was, the video's from 4 years ago, so now it's irrelevant. There's no impact statement. What makes it irrelevant? Because it was 4 years old? Like, it still showed his lack of knowledge. The impact is still there. It still showed his lack of knowledge. Just because it happened 4 years ago doesn't mean that it's suddenly irrelevant. And even though it's a bit of a false equivalency, I will give you an example to illustrate my point. Look at people who are in prison, for example, right? A lot of them have super long sentences, 10, 15-year sentences. A person who's been in prison for 15 years out of their 20-year sentence does not make the crime they committed 15 years ago irrelevant. Like, you can't just say that all of this stuff that happened in the past is irrelevant just because it's in the past, you know? And like, you never even defined a time period for your argument or anything. Like what's the time period? Is it irrelevant after 1 year? Is it irrelevant after 3 months? Is it irrelevant after 3 years? Like, what's the time period here? He had just got done calling me out about how I had made up this rule that people can't have Patreons, and now he's making up this rule that suddenly a video is irrelevant because it was 4 years old.
Just from fano about the Antwerp capsules, which are apparently self-explanatory.
And they are self-explanatory. I mean, look at the thumbnails, bro. Look at the titles. Why I sold my capsules. I'm not selling my capsules. Game over, not selling. I feel like that's pretty self-explanatory. And there's the timestamps on them too. 2 months ago, 6 months ago. Okay? Like, I don't know how that's not self-explanatory. Like, use your brain for a second, bro. It's pretty clear that this is an insane contradiction, and it's going to really confuse his viewers. Pretty self-explanatory. And you can see by looking at the timestamps that there's only a 4-month difference between the videos. He very clearly was panic selling his investments, which is something you never want to do. You don't want to panic sell. You always want to try and remain logical. And you can totally figure that out by just looking at the pictures. Literally just look at the thumbnails, okay? 6 months ago, 2 months ago. So that's a 4-month difference. There's a 4-month gap in between these videos, and in one of them he's selling, and in one of them he's holding. Okay? One of these videos is clearly showing panic selling. So yeah, it is self-explanatory. I don't know how he didn't look at the thumbnails. I don't know what the hell Heyzeus was doing. I don't know if he was on speed or something.
So I decided to watch these self-explanatory videos. Basically, what happened...
Which, you didn't have to do that. He explained everything in the title and thumbnail. They're 2-minute videos.
...is Fano bought some of these capsules when the price was here. Then, when the price went up to here, Fano made a video declaring he wasn't going to sell them because he thought the stickers had a lot of potential. Now, these stickers did have a lot of potential. They went up in price a lot. But when the Paris stickers, which looked identical to the Antwerp ones, were released, it caused the Antwerp stickers to crash. So Fano made another video announcing he was cashing out because he thought the Antwerp stickers were too risky to hold anymore. How is this evidence that Fano doesn't understand the basics of investing?
Okay, so a lot of problems here, Heyzeus. Quite a lot of problems here. So let's go back to your little graph here. Let's start here. Okay, so you're talking about why does Fano not understand the basics, fundamentals of investing just by these two thumbnails and this graph or whatever. So let's start by looking at the graph, okay? Let's start by looking at this. So he makes the video where he is holding on to the Antwerp capsules right here at, the January 12th. It's in Australian dates. But yeah, so 73 Australian dollars is what he bought it at, what he's holding it at. As you can see by the graph, they spike up like crazy. They literally go up an insane amount. You can see this gigantic spike after the 73 part, and then this sort of plateau afterward before they crash, right? So if he bought them at 36 AUD, and then he held them all the way past that gigantic spike, that's just an IQ diff at that point. That literally is just an IQ diff. That spike right there is a gigantic profit. It is an insane profit for anybody who bought at 36 Australian cents. Is it called Australian cents? I don't know. But anyway, for whoever bought it at 36 Australian cents, that spike is a enormous profit. It is something that you take and run with that, okay? That spike is unprecedented, okay? You can see how vertical it is, right? It shot up. Anybody who has any brain cells is selling at that point. Fano didn't. Fano kept holding it.
But what about the victim?
Oh, yes, the victim. At what point does personal responsibility become a factor in this equation?
I don't think that...
I see piss coming, I move. She saw piss coming, she stayed.
Yeah, she...
So that's the first fundamental that Fano missed, is he didn't sell when he was in an insane margin of profit on something that arguably was not going to go higher, especially because you can see the correction directly after that. Like if you look at the graph, you can literally see how it spiked up and then corrected basically immediately after. Anybody with any investment knowledge is selling at that point. Unless you plan to hold the investment for like 5 years, 10 years, or whatever, if it's totally not a short-term thing for you. If you're just wanting to hold it on like for dear life until the heat death of the universe, then you wouldn't sell at this point. But we already know that Fano is not holding this investment till the heat death of the universe because he sold them 4 months later. And now for the second problem here, this is a problem from Heyzeus' interpretation and also just why Fano is stupid. He sold the capsules after the Paris sale happens and after the Paris sort of crashed the entire market. So instead of holding the capsules and waiting for them to recovering some of his investments, he just sold them at the absolute bottom. Now, this is really stupid by the graph that Heyzeus provided, because if you look, when Fano actually sold the capsules, right? Right? He sold them right here. You can literally see the capsules have a small recovery directly after that, because that's how this generally works. When something drops like crazy in price, it's generally going to correct and normalize a little bit up because people were panicking in the first place, and that wasn't representative of the item's actual value. So essentially, the point at which Fano panic sold was way, way, way lower than what the actual value of the item should have been without the panic selling in the market. If he would have waited like 2 months more, he would have recovered like a significant portion of his investment if he literally just waited for it to recover from the panic selling. So that's just more proof that he doesn't know what he's doing. And now on to the problem with Heyzeus' analysis of this and his complete misinterpretation and him just ignoring context. So Heyzeus is essentially saying that it's okay that Fano made this really dumb decision because Paris came out and nuked the market, acting like it's some crazy, a random event, like an asteroid randomly hit the Earth overnight. Like it's just some random thing that nobody could have predicted. Literally anybody who had any basic knowledge of investing knew that Paris was a risk. Once you hold an item, especially some sort of a sticker capsule, when you hold stickers or a sticker capsule, borderless, bordered, whatever, and you wait until a major comes out, you are literally gambling at that point on if the major is going to be really good looking borderless stickers or if it's going to be like really bad looking bordered stickers, for example. At that point, you're literally gambling, and everybody knows that. Anybody with any sort of a basic brain for investing understands that when there's this upcoming event that's going to release more stickers, they could look really good or they could look really bad. Holding the stickers past the release of Paris is a gamble. Sure, Paris could have looked horrible and Antwerp may have gone up in value from that, but at the same time, there was this massive risk that Paris was borderless and looked really good, which it did. But the point is, it's a gamble. It's not investing at that point. You are literally just taking a massive risk. It's not risk tolerant at all. It doesn't have any of the fundamentals of investing backing it. You're literally just gambling on what the upcoming stickers look like. And it's not an unpredictable event. My friend had literally bought some Furia Stockholm hollows back when, Stockholm was out, and he had bought them before Paris came out. And I told him before Paris came out that he's taking a giant risk, that he's gambling on these and he'll get totally destroyed if Paris is actually borderless and looks good. So I don't know why Heyzeus is acting like this is some unpredictable event. I don't know why. That's literally the weirdest way, the hugest, biggest reach on trying to defend Fano here. I don't know why he's meat riding him so hard. It was a clearly stupid decision that lacked all of the fundamental knowledge of investing, and I posted it in my documents, and it was very self-explanatory, so I really don't know what the problem is here. And then he got wrecked when Paris comes out. Yes.
That's unfortunate, but no one knew the Paris stickers would look the same as Antwerp's.
Oh my god. But we did, though. We did know that it was a possibility. You can see my own Discord messages where I said that it was a possibility. It's literally a gamble. People know that this is a possibility. We don't know that it's for sure going to happen, but it's not something that you want to call yourself an investor and do, It lacks all the fundamentals of investing. It's a huge risky move. And the way that you know I'm right about that is because it was a risky move that did not pay off. He lost a lot of money.
Rio stickers that look very different. It was a risk, sure, but according to Nalo, people shouldn't be expected to get predictions right all the time. So, again,
there's a huge difference between getting a prediction wrong and lacking the fundamental basic knowledge of investing, okay? A bad call is different than holding a sticker into the biggest gamble of that sticker's lifetime, Paris, okay? Like, being wrong is going, oh, I think the sticker is going to go up because of these reasons, etc., and then the sticker ends up not going up. That's a bad call, whatever. But you at least had some fundamentals there. You had some reasoning for why you believed that, and et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. But literally holding the stickers into what is literally a roulette spin, it's literally the heat death of your portfolio, or you end up making some money, that's a gamble. That's not investing. That doesn't show that you have any fundamental idea of how investing works. You're just holding it into a nuclear bomb. And on top of that, instead of Fano holding the investment longer and waiting for the obvious recovery, Fano panic sold at the bottom, which is another gigantic lack of his fundamental knowledge of investing. So that's what it proves, Heyzeus. He lacks the fundamental knowledge that you shouldn't panic sell, and he lacks the fundamental knowledge that you should have sold when it peaked like crazy, and he lacks the fundamental knowledge that you should not take a massive risk on a new major coming out. Okay, that's all fundamental knowledge. It's all basic stuff. It's all covered in beginner guides, okay? That's not something that you need a degree for or anything like that. It's basic knowledge. He lacks it. That's why he's fundamentally bad.
What does any of this prove?
And I just went over that. I'm not going to rehash, but yeah, that's what it proves.
My suggestion is absolutely fucking nothing.
Okay, great. So, good critical thinking skills, buddy. Nice reach, I guess.
Now, in the next example down here, Fano has talked about a long-term investment too early for Nalo's liking. That apparently you're not even...
By the way, is this video about Fano or is it about me? Can I say that? Like, this video literally just seems like a targeted attack on me. I'm not gonna lie to you. This seems like he's just meat riding the hell out of Fano and targeting me. That's what I got. That's the vibes I got from this whole video. It's like, dude, why is this not about how the entire community was against Fano? Like, why is it suddenly about my issues, you know? And like this document, it had 100 likes? Yeah, it had like I think it had like 100 likes on Twitter. I'll go check it later. I'll put it up on screen. But yeah, this document had like 100 likes on Twitter. There were so many other tweets that had like thousands and thousands of likes. I don't know why he like specifically went for this document. I don't know. It just feels like a targeted attack on me, and it feels very biased. But anyway, let's get into this.
I'm not allowed to ask that question yet, Fano. It's against the rules. Anyway, how does this community post show Fano doesn't understand the fundamentals of investing?
Okay, so here's how it doesn't show that he understands the fundamentals of investing. So the AK Headshot and the AK Nightwish are both case reds. They come from a case, as we all know. The Headshot is from the Revolution case, the Nightwish is from the Dreams and Nightmares case. These are both very recent cases. Now, anybody with any sort of a brain or any sort of a basic understanding of investing knows that you probably shouldn't invest in new case skins because they are going to decline in price. Let's go over here to the AK Inheritance. This is from the most recent case, the Kilowatt case, and we can go ahead and look at it on Steam. So if we go ahead and click on its price, factory new, and here we are loading it up on Steam. So if we scroll down here, you'll see that when we click on the lifetime graph, it started up here at around $799. Let me just, sorry, I had to make sure I was recording on Streamlabs. It started up here at around $800, and then $322, and then over time, $244, $190. Now it's at 193 or whatever. Literally, it's just going down. Like, it's just a downhill trend, okay? And keep in mind, when Fano made this community post, this was... It says 8 days ago. It doesn't show the exact date. But when he made this community post, the AK Headshot was like brand spanking new. It had just come out. So you wanted to wait to even consider buying it. You wanted to wait because this is what happens to new case skins. Okay? Now let's look at a case red that's been out for a while. So here we are to the Hyper Beast. Let's look at the lifetime graph of the Hyper Beast. So when it came out on April 15th, it was worth like $316. It went on that gigantic downward decline, right, to $31 in factory new. And then if you had it at $31 August 23rd, 8 p.m., and then you waited all the way over here, here's August 21st again, it's $59. Now this is years. This is years of difference, right? This skin came out in 2015. So this little gap here on this graph that you're seeing here, that gap is years of difference. So on this August, it was $32. On this August, it was $54 or whatever. That's not even a 2x increase. That's not even a 2 times return on your investment. And this is a massive term for your investment. This is a huge term. Here it was like, here we go. It had some spikes over here. These kind of were short-lived. We can zoom in on it, actually. These were short-lived, but it spiked up to like 100, immediately went back down to 70, but whatever. So here was about a 2 times increase. But again, that was years of difference. These spikes were all, this is a massive chunk of time, okay? Like, this is a huge chunk of time. There are so many other things that you could have invested in this chunk of time and made way more money in a way shorter period of time. This is such a suboptimal investment that it can't even be considered an investment, at least to me. So then we go over here. This is its more recent prices. Now it's up at like 200. So that means if you held it from 2015 until now, which is a 9-year difference, and this is a popular skin, by the way. This is the M4 Hyper Beast. Okay, this is a popular weapon. Everybody likes the M4A1S, and it's the Hyper Beast, which is a very, very popular skin line, very iconic. Okay, very popular skin. So if you held it, let's say you bought it at the bottom, right? You bought it at like $30, and then you held it all the way until now, where it's going for about $160. We'll say you held it to the peak, so like $250. We'll say $250. So you hold it until $250. That is an 8 times increase in your investment. That's 8x ROI. Okay. Do you know how many things you could have bought in that period of 9 years that were not secret investments? They were very obvious ones, right? You could have bought any sticker year pretty much. You could have bought Cato 19, you could have bought et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. We're talking about 2015 here, so let's talk about Cato 15. You could have bought Cato 15 stickers in 2015, or you could have bought Cologne 15, or you could have bought in 2016, you could have bought Cologne 2016. You could have bought any of those. And if you held those for 9 years, the return on investment would have been insane. And those are not secret investments. Those are major sticker years. They are discontinued stickers. They are very, very fundamental, very basic, and they would have shown you massive returns in a much shorter period of time. So telling people to invest into case reds is insane. It is clinically insane, okay? This is not a long-term investment. This is buying a play skin. That's it, okay? It's not something that you want to, like, if it takes 9 years for you to make 8 times on your investment, that's insane. For stocks, maybe that is good. I'm sure that there are stocks that you could buy for $30 and then sell for $200 or whatever, $250. Those are probably pretty good stocks that you held for 9 years. You probably make some good money on stocks. But we're not talking about stocks, okay? We're talking about CS items, which are a lot more volatile and have a lot more opportunity, okay? And they raise a lot more than normal stocks do. If you bought like a really, really safe, low-risk index fund and it went from $30 to $250, that's pretty good, okay? But we're not talking about stocks, okay? So that's why it's not a good return, and that's why I thought it was insane to even compare the two.
Well, apparently it's because instead of making this post, Fano could have talked about cases or para stickers instead. And because Nalo thinks cases and para stickers are going to be more optimal investments, this shows a clear lack of fundamental knowledge on.
Okay, so so his wording there, first of all, is very bad. He starts by saying Nalo thinks that cases and para stickers are going to be a better investment. Let's look at the cases, all right? So what's the one that we can look at the one that he actually posts here, right? So what is this? Yeah, okay, so it's the Chroma 2 case. Coincidentally, it's also the Hyper Beast. So let's look at the Chroma 2 case on Steam, okay? So this came out in 2015 as well. And if you look at the lifetime graph, the least you could have bought it for is 3 cents. And then if you held it, let's say you bought it at the very beginning of when it was 3 cents. So you bought it like, way back here in 2015. And then let's say you sell it at the peak. All right. So it's 353 at its peak. Yeah, 353. So you buy it for 3 cents and then you wait 9 years and you sell it for 353. Okay, so what's that return on investment? So that is a 118 times return on your investment. If you bought the case, right, for 3 cents, waited 9 years and sold it at the peak. So that's the same analysis we did with the Hyper Beast, by the way, same analysis. The reason, by the way, that I'm using the Hyper Beast, if you weren't aware, is because we haven't had the headshot long enough to show what it looks like in the long term. We haven't had the Night Wish long enough to show what it looks like in the long term. So that's why I'm using the Hyper Beast, because it's like the best comparison that I can make. So yeah, if you bought the Hyper Beast from the Chroma 2 case and bought the red skin, the factory new one, you would have made 8 times on your investment in 9 years. if you bought the case itself, the Chroma 2 case, which is the one that Heyzeus shows in his video, actually, that one, you would have made 118 times return on investment. You would have made literally over 100 times more on buying the case than if you bought the Hyper Beast. And again, this is not secret knowledge. This is not something that you had to like learn about and know or whatever. This is not something that requires a degree. You could have figured this out by just being in a basic investing community at the time, because everybody's been talking about cases for literally years. Here's a Steam discussion post right here. This is from 2016, right? Right there, 2016. Is Chroma case good for investment? What are your opinions? Like people were talking about this in an investment sense in 2016. That's basically when the case came out, you know. So you could have figured it out if you were in the Steam discussion. Not even like a Discord server or anything like that. If you were in a Steam discussion, you could have figured out the Chroma 2 case was a potential for an investment. And that would have made you 118 times return on investment if you bought it at the bottom and sold at the peak. Unlike the Hyper Beast, which if you bought that at the bottom and sold at the peak, you would have only made 8 times your investment. So that's why I think it's insane to consider case reds as a great long-term investment, okay? Because we've seen from all of this history that we have, and from literally the thing that he put in his own video, the Chroma 2 case that's in Heyzeus' video right here, that you should invest in something that is going to be better than an 8 times return in 9 years.
On Fano's part. Now, if the entire premise of this argument seems ridiculous and pretentious, that's because it is.
That's an ad hominem attack, so you're just calling it ridiculous and pretentious. That's ad hominem. You haven't actually attacked my argument.
Obviously, content creators are allowed to speculate on long-term investments.
I don't actually think he even attacks my argument at all. Like, my argument is that it's insanely suboptimal to buy red case skins, and then it's way more optimal for him to have made a community post about cases, for example, comparing like the Gamma case to the Spectrum case or whatever he wants to compare it to. Like, he just goes, that's pretentious. That's pretentious, man. You're being really egotistical right now. Like, be nicer to Fano. You're being really egotistical right now.
If they want to, regardless of what Nalo thinks. But Nalo is also just factually wrong here. Fano
okay, let's see. How am I factually wrong?
Actually wouldn't shut up about the parastickers. This whole drama only happened because of something Fano...
Alright. Okay. So, if we go back and read the document... Actually, let me just open the document here because I have it. So, if we go down to the part about his community posts, where, by the way, I literally post how he's talking about parastickers, okay? I understand that he's talking about parastickers, all right? It's in the same document. So, I don't know what you mean by that. But anyway, so, if we go to the part about the headshot, here it is. When the case these come from leave the active pool, these could potentially rise in price significantly, i.e. AK Vulcan. The problem, this is an absolutely insane question to even ask in the first place because the headshot is still at an inflated price and it's been on a constant downtrend, just like the Temicao because the case is still very recent. The goal of investing is to optimize. This is especially true in the CS market, where so many items have a long history of price increases. Everyone's a genius in the bull market. CS skins, for the most part, are overarchingly up in the overall existence of the market, so the goal isn't to find items that will increase, because most eventually will. The goal is to find the best possible investments. Knowingly pushing out this question about the headshot and Nightwish when stuff like Paris is ongoing, or the fact that CS2 is on the horizon, and this community post, okay? Reading comprehension. This community post. Community to vote, right? Okay? This question. Reading comprehension. This community post. This community post is what we're talking about. Okay? So now let's look at Heyzeus' argument.
Fano actually wouldn't shut up about the parastickers.
So hopefully some of you are starting to see the problem, okay? Maybe I'll go ahead and explain it for those of you that are a little bit TikTok brain rotten. But this question, this community post, Fano has not shut up about the pair of stickers. This community post, please tell me some of you are noticing the problem here that Heyzeus has made. Okay, I'll give you a couple seconds to think about it, just in case. Okay, a couple seconds. All right. I'll give you a little bit of silence. Just think about it. What could be the issue here? What is the issue that Heyzeus has done here? Okay, so let's go ahead and explain. I'm talking about this community post, Heyzeus. This community post, okay? These are not community posts. These are videos that Fano made about the Paris stickers, okay? I'm talking about how it's stupid that he made this community post about the AK headshot and the AK Nightwish when he could have made this community post about a better fundamental investment. Not his videos, the community post, okay? I said this community post is stupid, okay? So the problem here is that Heyzeus is now arguing that this community post is totally fine for Fano to make because he made videos about Paris stickers. That doesn't mean that this community post is suddenly irrelevant. Just because he made videos about Paris stickers doesn't mean that this community post doesn't exist anymore, right? He still made this stupid, dumbass post that I described in the document and described to you just recently with the graphs in the M4 Hyperbeast. It was a very fundamentally dumb community post for him to make, okay? And it still exists just because he made these videos. Like, the community post is still a thing. It's still on his channel. It's still real, right? You can't just be like, oh, it's okay that he made that community post and made that dumbass community post and posted that to his viewers just because he made these videos. No, we're talking about the community post, not his videos. So I don't know why you brought that up. Irrelevant. Stupid rebuttal.
This whole drama only happened because of something Fano said about them. And Nailo himself is actually going to look at a bunch of Fano's Paris sticker coverage in the next section of this story.
Yeah, because again, it's irrelevant to this point. Like, I understand that he covered Paris stickers and he did it badly, and we're going to talk about that, okay? Like, I understand that, buddy. That's not what I was saying here. We're talking about this community post. Like, please, we're on page 1 and you're in page 15 of a completely different book, okay? Like, we're not talking about his videos. His videos are stupid too, but we're not talking about his videos. We're talking about the community post. Please get on the same page.
Document, although we'll get to that. And Fano literally made a video right before CS2 was announced about investing in cases. He literally called that one, timed it perfectly.
Wow, he said operation cases were going to go up. Wow, awesome. Okay, well, good job, Fano.
So, again, I'm not convinced this community post proves anything, but hey.
Okay, so the community post proves nothing because Fano's allowed to make a speculative, fundamentally stupid community post because he is. I don't know. That was his argument. If we go back a little bit. I don't want to like keep skipping back or anything like that, but like,
how does this community post show Fano doesn't understand the fundamentals of investing? Well, apparently it's because instead of making this post, Fano could have talked about cases or Paris stickers instead. And because Nailo thinks cases and Paris stickers are going to be more optimal investments, this shows a clear lack of fundamental knowledge on Fano's part.
This was just never refuted, by the way. Did he even ever refute this? Like, now that I've just gone back to it, I don't think he ever even touched on this. Like, actually, did he ever touch on the fact that cases are literally like 100 times more optimal than buying a case red? Did he even ever like touch on that? I don't think he did. I think he just skipped over that. Oh yeah, Fano made some videos about Paris, so it's okay that this community post exists. Like, no, dude. It's still bad the community post exists just because he made videos on it. Those were his refutations. His refutations were, it's okay the community post exists because he made videos, which is stupid. It's a dumb rebuttal because the community post still exists and it's still dumb. And his other rebuttal was that he's allowed to talk about long-term investments, which is a rule that you made up, Heyzeus. You keep talking about me making up rules. You made that rule up. I don't think he's allowed to make really stupid suboptimal calls about these AKs. I don't think he is, okay? Because he's an investment YouTuber. He's telling people how to spend their money, okay? So I don't think he should be telling them to spend it on something so suboptimal.
There is a valid point at the end. Nailo points out that Fano refuses to use Buff 163 and only uses Steam Market. This is a very not good thing for an investment content creator to do, and it is fair enough to call him out on it. Yeah, good point. But
okay, so he agrees with me there. Good.
Anything. But hey, there is a
So this starts at 8 minutes and 23 seconds.
valid point at the end. Nalo points out that Fano refuses to use Buff 163 and only uses Steam Market. This is a very not good thing for an investment content creator to do, and it is fair enough to call him out on it. Yeah, good point.
And it ends at 8:36. So he spends a grand total of 13 seconds talking about that point. In an 16-minute video, he spends a grand total of 13 seconds talking about that point. And he spends 4 minutes misinterpreting everything else. Like, if this isn't a biased targeted attack on me, I don't know what to tell you, man. How are you spending 4 minutes talking about something that you just misinterpreted, right? This grossly misinterpreted, ignoring my point. You never even talked about how I said that cases were more optimal than the reds, and that was something you could have easily figured out at the time, right? That was a very good point, and you just never talked about it. You just completely ignored that exists and talked about something completely irrelevant that was a misinterpretation on your part, right? You spend 4 minutes doing this, but then when I make a good point, it gets 13 seconds? Come on, bro. Like, seriously? This is insane. This is like...
Then we get to the banger stuff, manipulation. Nalo is very...
Okay, I don't know why he called that banger stuff. I mean, I guess it is. I feel like everything in the document is banger stuff, personally, but... Okay, sure. So separate this as the banger stuff. I personally think the fact that Fano uses the Steam market only and never uses any third-party marketplaces and never uses Buff, I personally think that's a pretty banger point, but you obviously didn't. You only spent 13 seconds on it. Fano having to make 55% profit on any item that he buys just to break even, I feel like that's a pretty banger point to make. The man is literally spending 55% more on his items than if he were to use a third-party marketplace. And if you're wondering how I got that math, you're paying like 30, 35, maybe 40% less on third-party marketplaces, right? Maybe a little bit less than that. You might be 25% off, but still, it's in that range, 25 to 40% you'll pay for an item on a third-party marketplace. And then when you sell on Steam, you also lose a gigantic amount from the fee, right? So that's how I got that number. So yeah, Fano has to make 55% more on his investments that he buys from the Steam market just to break even. Or he could just make 3%, and that would cover the seller fee on a third-party marketplace, right? It's a gigantic gap. It's a 52% gap. And I think that's really stupid, and I think that's a huge deal, and I don't think that deserves 13 seconds of the video. But okay.
Very clear. He's going to prove Fano is manipulating stuff for his own gain.
Now, I don't know why he showed this screenshot from the document. Did he read it? Because, like we talked about at the beginning of the video, I'm not touching on his Ends Hollow post. Like, that was a stupid post or whatever, but it did not constitute manipulation. So I don't know why he showed this screenshot. If anybody watching this video read the screenshot, they would see that I'm not even talking about the Ends Hollows.
So, what evidence does he have? Well, his first point is that Fano owns a bunch of...
I can just make this nice and easy for you guys, okay? Let's look at the first screenshot here, this one at the top. Number owned 105. So this is the Apex Hollow, and this is the amount that Fano owns, 105 of them. And so he owns 105 Apex Hollows, and then all of this stuff at the bottom here are all community posts and Patreon posts and videos that Fano made about the Apex Hollow. That is very much a conflict of interest, my brother.
Apex Hollows and has made some content on them. But on closer inspection, really close inspection by the way, because Nalo hasn't clicked these images.
It's Google Docs, man. Like I said, I'm pretty sure I even said that in the document. Yeah, let me scroll up here. Sorry about any formatting issues. Inserting a lot of pictures into Google Docs doesn't exactly make the Mona Lisa. Yeah, it's literally in the introduction of the document. I don't know why. Did you just not read the document or something? Yeah, like the pictures suck. I'm sorry. It's not my fault. Like that's just what happens when you paste them into Google Docs.
Properly, I am not very convinced. Most of these community posts look irrelevant. We've also...
Oh yeah, the community posts are irrelevant, even though they're literally investing into the Apex Hollow and the other hollows that Fano owns.
Also got some Patreon posts disclosing that he's buying the stick.
Yes. What are you not getting here? He buys the Apex Hollow and he posts that he buys the Apex Hollow to a bunch of people that are looking to invest into something. Like, bought more of this amazing sticker, added more of this sticker.
Sticker, which I would have thought is a good thing.
Okay. Manipulation of the market does not have to be something that you do in secrecy, okay? I could be like, look at me, I bought... In fact, that's even that'll even be a stronger case for someone to go out and listen to you if you buy the item. If I were to go buy 1 million Apex Hollows, and I was like, look guys, I bought a bunch of Apex Hollows, look at me, oh my god. That's going to convince people to probably go buy Apex Hollows, because I'm presenting myself as an authority on investing, just like Fano does, right? So that's probably going to convince people to go buy a bunch of Apex Hollows. You don't have to do it in secret. That's not a part of manipulation. You can do it in secret. It's even worse if you do it in secret, but you can do it publicly too.
And we've got a video about parasickers in general, which happens to mention the Apex Hollow, which
okay, to be fair on that one, that I will take a little bit of the heat from that. I could have picked any of his other Apex Hollow videos because he had multiple, right? I posted that one specifically just because it had the Apex Hollow in the thumbnail, and the document was rushed. I say that in the document too, by the way. I don't act like this document is like the fucking Mona Lisa or whatever, right? This post is a bit rushed. I wasn't able to include as much as I wanted. Okay? So, sorry. I should have taken more time. Okay, I didn't have an entire year to talk about this like you did, Heyzeus. Okay, I had 30 minutes to make this. I think I had work or something. I think I literally had work that morning, and I had to get this done before work. But yeah, like I had like 30 minutes to make this document, okay? Sorry, I forgot to include a different video about the Apex Hollows that Fano made. He made a ton of them, okay? So, sorry I picked that video specifically, but he made a ton of them, so maybe go and use more context instead of just analyzing the document.
makes sense, by the way, because the Apex Hollow is the third most valuable Hollow at the Major.
It doesn't matter. It doesn't matter. He owns 105 of them. It doesn't matter if it's doing really well or if it actually has good investment potential, right? Like, nice, he's telling you to buy an item that actually has good investment potential, but he still bought 105 of them. He still has a vested interest in them, right? He can still push an over-exaggerated false narrative about the item because he owns 105 of them. He doesn't have to, like, pick an item that's not doing well. He can pick an item that's doing well and still have a vested interest and still make a manipulative post about it, you know?
It's completely reasonable to mention it. Also, these...
Sure, it's reasonable. It's reasonable to mention an Apex Hollow as an investment. Reasonable. It looks really good. And, you know, it probably will do pretty good in the long term. I feel like that's generally the opinion a lot of people have. But the problem is, Fano has a vested interest in them. He owns 105 of them. It doesn't matter if they're a good or bad investment. He's still pushing an item that he owns. Oh yeah, this graph is hilarious, by the way, and we'll get into this. This one's really funny.
Seekers fucking died as investments. Wow.
So, okay. So, let's look here. So, he's talking about how they died, and we're looking at this sort of back half of the graph where they're just declining in price over time, and they're what, like $2 right now? I don't know what this exact price is. $2, €2, $2 Australian dollar, whatever this is. So I don't know why we're looking at that, because Fano was talking about the Apex Hollows in this first chunk of the graph. He wasn't talking about Apex Hollows on this decline. He was talking about them on this first chunk of the graph. Now, if you look at the first chunk of the graph, Apex Hollows were €6, or whatever the hell currency this is. Your magic fairy currency from Australia. I don't know. I'm pretty sure this is euros. I'm just being stupid. You could have bought them for $6 here. And then they went up to like $13, $14, whatever this number is. It's not exactly shown. This yeah. So they went up like a crazy amount when Fano was actually talking about them. He wasn't talking about them when they were declining. You know, this isn't the time. Again, this is just another issue with you talking about this a year later, is you're going, oh, look, the sticker died. Okay? Why are we analyzing that? That this was a year after the drama. When we were talking about all this, this was the chunk we're looking at. Fano buying the sticker for $6 and selling it for 14 is a huge profit. He didn't do that, but I'm just saying, you know, for the purpose of the argument, that they went up like crazy.
Now, what fantastic manipulation there.
Yeah, okay. Fano failed at the manipulation attempt. I don't know what to tell you. It's still manipulation. Like, just because it succeeds or fails does not change the fact that he still has a vested interest in them and is pushing them to his viewers. Okay? Win or lose, it doesn't matter. He still has a vested interest and still pushing to his viewers. That's my point. It's scummy to do that. That's all.
The only other example shown is the mount.
That's not actually the only other example shown. There's also this one where he owns a crap ton of entropic hollows and VP hollows, and he also made videos about it. I guess Heyzeus probably skipped over that because I didn't post the exact videos that he made. But again, like, it was a rushed document. Sorry, I didn't go grab the exact screenshot or whatever, you know? Heyzeus could have gone out and just looked at his channel and, like, done the actual research instead of just looking at only the document. Like, he could have added more context to the drama because most of it was happening on Twitter, right? Most of the back and forth was happening on Twitter. It wasn't just in this document. But yeah, I mean, I could have included the video thumbnail. Fair point. I don't really feel like I need to, though, because you could have just gone to his YouTube channel and looked. They're public videos. But yeah, like, there's more examples, but we looked over those. Sure, whatever.
Mouse Hollow. A Hollow Fano owns and had made a video saying the sticker could explode in price. Now, this would...
No, it's still a good argument. He's about to say it's not a good, not a good argument, but it's still a good argument, and I'll explain why. But I do want to talk about what Heyzeus is talking about as well, because he kind of glosses over this fact, and it's also really funny.
Would be a fantastic point if the price of the sticker had gone up after.
Why? Like, that doesn't matter, okay? Like, if I tell Farmer John to go buy apples because I own apples, right? And I go tell Farmer John, hey, you should go buy apples. They're going to go up in price. And I own a whole bunch of apples, right? And then Farmer John goes and buys a whole bunch of the apples, right? I still manipulated Farmer John to go buy those apples. Just because Joe comes along and puts 50 new apples onto the market and the price goes down, that doesn't mean I didn't manipulate John. I still manipulated John to go buy the apples. You know, I still told him the price was going to explode. The manipulation still happened. Just because it failed doesn't mean the manipulation didn't happen.
To the video and Fano had sold his stickers, but instead the price has gone down and Fano is still holding them. And
okay, he's stupid. Like, that's all that proves. He just made another argument for me, I guess. I don't know. Made another argument for me that Fano doesn't understand the fundamentals of investing. He held the mouse hollow when it exploded in price, made a video about how it's going to explode more in price, and then kept holding them when they just took a dump, you know?
At what point does personal responsibility become a factor in this equation?
Like, probably because Fano's cost basis for the mouse hollows was like $150, right? That's probably why. Probably because his cost basis was $150. So it's not, he never had a chance to make profit. This brother was so lost, he never had a chance to make profit. He never bought these when they were, you know, whatever, $5, $8 when the major first came out. He bought these hoes for $150, lost all his money, and then kept holding on to the stickers. Like, thanks, Heyzeus. That's actually an argument in favor of me, I don't know.
while you are free to call this shit content if you want,
it is.
Market manipulation requires you to prove market manipulation has happened.
No, it doesn't. It does not, no. You don't have to prove that the item actually shot up in price, okay? You don't have to prove that. Just because it was an unsuccessful market manipulation does not make it not market manipulation.
Nalo has not done that here. Now,
it's a rule that Heyzeus created. Again, he keeps talking about all these rules that I'm creating. Heyzeus created this rule.
The document concludes by stating, this post is a bit rushed. I wasn't able to include as much as I wanted because...
And yet you still insulted it for the low quality pictures or whatever. Like, I don't... low quality pictures and I didn't include enough evidence. Yeah, because I didn't have time, buddy. I didn't have a year.
This has been going on for years and years. And yeah, no shit, I can tell this document is rushed. But for something that's apparently been going on for years...
Again, that's not my fault. Like, those were high quality. I just used, like, the snipping tool. I don't know why he's, like, harping on that. It's weird. Like, it's just Google Docs.
And years and years.
Is he viewing it on, like, mobile or something? I don't know.
This document is incredibly fucking thin, and...
Oh, I wonder why. Probably because I only had 30 minutes to make it, and you had over a year to make this video. This video is pretty fucking thin and pretty misinterpretive for something that you had a year to write about.
Like a lot of these docs, there's a couple of valid points, there's a bit of embarrassing stuff for Fano, and then there's a whole lot of ridiculous garbage piled on.
Again, this is not ridiculous garbage. Like, he's posting community posts about the sticker that he owns. Okay? I'm pretty sure he owns Fanatic Hollows too. Like, he owned both of these. Which pair sticker will grow more in value? Money emoji. Money dollar sign emoji. Money dollar sign tongue emoji. And there's just stickers that he owns. Like, bro, like, Heyzeus, come on, man. You're meat riding this guy too hard.
Top of it to try and make things look much worse than they actually are.
Like, what do you mean? Those are posts from him. Those are his posts from his community posts. Like, those are screenshots of his posts. I don't know why you're being like, oh, you're trying to make this look worse than it actually is. I took those from Fano. They're his posts. Most of the stuff in the document I literally say is self-explanatory. Look, this I didn't even comment on. This picture has no comment. It literally just says, there's more over the years. I think this succinctly proves my point. Like, I don't even comment on this. Like, these are literally just screenshots of Fano's inventory and his videos. I don't know why you're acting like, oh, you're trying to paint him in a bad light. Like, they're just screenshots. They're screenshots of his stuff. They're receipts, bro. Like, these are just his community posts. And then, yeah, this was a good line that he skipped over. Brother, it's your job to determine the best investments. I don't even know why he's making these comparative community posts in the first place. He's the YouTuber. Like, bro, you need to tell us if the Virtus Pro Hollow or the Outsiders Hollow is better. You need to do that analysis. You need to do the analysis on the Monacy Paris Hollow and the Monacy Antwerp Hollow. Like, it's your job. But yeah, like, a lot of these don't even have quotes on them. Like, it's just, and like, again, the whole 29-page document thing, like, look at this gigantic gap. This is a whole page. It's just one screenshot on the whole page. So again, I don't understand why those comments were like, there's comments being like, Nilo has no life. Nilo has no life because he made this document. Like, dude, I didn't spend 18 fucking years making this document, okay? This consumed 30 minutes of my life, and then I went about my day. Like, you need to shut the hell up. And also, how is that your only takeaway from the whole video? Like, Heyzeus makes a video that's 17 minutes long talking about all these different things, this document and all this other stuff, this drama, everything. And the only takeaway people have is, Nilo has no life. Dude, you're an NPC, bro. Like, actually, you have all this stuff to talk about, and your only takeaway is, Nilo has no life because he made a document about someone. Nilo tried to inform the community of and Nilo has no life because he did that. Because he tried to expose a bad person who has vested self-interest in the stuff he's talking about, right? I don't know. That was a stupid comment. So, okay, now we're going to talk about this because I just want you guys to see this, right? So this is in the document, all right? This is on 421 or whatever. You can see him buying fracture cases and buying all this and whatever, right? Okay, so now let's go back to this.
Still, the document was well received, probably mostly by people who didn't actually bother reading it. And
fair enough. Yeah, it's a long document, I guess. People don't have the time of their day all the time to read it, sure. But, like, there wasn't negative reception about this document. You're the first person that made negative reception about it. And you didn't read it, because if you would have read it, you wouldn't have misinterpreted everything.
And it helped to keep the gears grinding against Fano. This was followed up a week later by a video from a creator called Prolostus, and unlike the document, this video was actually pretty good.
Unlike the document, this video was actually pretty good.
Prolostus, and unlike the document, this video was actually pretty good. They're called Prolostus, and unlike the document, this video was actually pretty good. They're called Prolostus, and unlike the document, this video was actually pretty good.
Heyzeus. I did not punch my mic, by the way. I was just moving my hand over. I'm not actually mad. Prolostus. Hey, big man. Wanted to ask if you mind if I use some of your screenshots from the Twitter doc you made a couple of days ago working on a video about Fano. This is the guy who made the video. Oh, this video is so much better than your document. It's so much better. Bro, this is the guy who made the video. And he's asking me to use my document to make the video. Like, bro, what the hell? What the hell, man? Oh, man. Man.
Most of the video talks about how Fano's refusal to use buff could cause some of his viewers to lose money, as well as providing
I talked about that in the document too, and you spent 13 seconds of this video talking about that, so cool.
some much more specific criticism of Fano's investment content that doesn't contain.
And sure, great. That's great. Great that Pelosis did that. I would have done that too if I had more than 30 minutes to make the document.
Some crazy narrative about price manipulation.
And he does talk about, I don't know what, he literally does talk about that point, so I don't even, okay.
With the pressure generally mounting on Fano, some of it reasonable, some of it definitely not, he decided to make a statement. Unfortunately, that statement appears to have been purpose-made to encourage people to reply with this meme. Now, you might think that following some further memeing, things would finally stop, but they didn't. Instead, the drama spread to the...
Also, like, I'll give a quick shout out to the people involved with this, Ray and all you guys, Heyzeus totally misinterpreted all your crap too, and he's like just kind of sat here and shitted on you guys for no reason. Like, you guys did a really good thing. You went and nuked his server after he made it super authoritarian. Not even out of the manipulation thing. Like, they literally just killed his server because Fano was being like a complete authoritarian dickhead and was being like, you guys can't talk bad about me and my server. You're getting banned. Well, it's just like, dude, he's just getting rid of negative critics and just making it this total echo chamber. And then they nuked his server as a result of that. Okay? That was a good thing to do. And Heyzeus, for whatever reason, just completely shits on you guys, and that's super unfair. And it was stupid. Shits on Felipe, even though, like, again, he's just trying to, like, call out Fano for being a dickhead, you know? Like, they did a good thing, okay, Heyzeus? You don't need to sit here and grift. Okay, so now we get into the next thing that he mentions me about, and this one I will take some responsibility for, because I actually did make a misstep here, and we'll talk about that. Full transparency.
31 head-exploding emotes, so you know it's amazing. Now, this was bad enough to earn him quite a bit of mockery, but it also earned him something much more serious from his #1 fan, Nalo.
I don't know how people say that. Like, can I not just say someone's a shitty person without being called their fan? Like, I think the #1 fan of Fano is the guy who made 16 minutes of a video a year later defending him and trying to save his reputation. I'm pretty sure you're the biggest fan, okay? I'm shitting on him. I'm calling him out, okay? I hate that, by the way. Like, I just hate that argument. I don't know. That makes my blood boil a little bit. I'm a little mad. I'm a little mad about that. Why am I not allowed to call someone out for doing bad things just because I'm being called his fan or whatever, right? like, oh, you called out a dictator for making his country starve? Oh man, you're such a fan, bro. like you could call someone out for doing bad things and not just be their biggest fan.
Quote, he owns these. He put them in a storage unit after the...
Okay, so... this was not true. He did not own them, okay? I walked that back later, okay? I admitted that. I did say allegedly, to be fair, okay? It was based on a screenshot that someone had provided where it was Fano's inventory and he had a bunch of the recoil graffitis in them or whatever. That's what it was based on. And at the time, we didn't know if that screenshot was real or fake. Later, I found out it was fake, okay? And then I walked back my statement. I made a mistake. My bad. I said allegedly. Okay? At the time, it looked real. And then later on, it was turned out to be fake. My bad. I walked it back. I can't call Fano out for that. Fair.
The tweet, allegedly. The buy order of 45 is the only buy order.
And also, this is still a really important point that was just glossed over. The buy order of $45 is the only buy order anywhere remotely high. That's true. Fano was saying that this graffiti was amazing because it had a buy order of $45, but that was the only buy order that was anywhere remotely high. It was just a manipulative buy order.
Anywhere remotely that high? This is obvious manipulation.
And yes, you can still consider this manipulative in a way. It's not the same as like full-scale hard market manipulation, but it is still manipulative because he's misrepresenting the item. He's saying, look at this amazing item. It's so great. 13 head-exploding emojis. It has a buy order of $45. It's such an amazing item. It's great. That's still manipulative. Even if he doesn't own the item, it's still manipulative. It's not market manipulation on the same scale as like something else, but it's still manipulative because he's misrepresenting the item. It's not actually as good as he's saying it is.
Why does he still have a platform?
Good question. I'm still wondering that to this day.
Now, people quickly started asking Nalo what the evidence for this was, and Nalo responded by saying that he apparently didn't think the evidence was necessary to include.
Because it was on the original tweet that I was quoting. If you read the whole tweet here, Heyzeus. Okay, so the reason I said this, and if Heyzeus would have read the entire tweet, the evidence was on the original tweet, so I felt it wasn't necessary to include on my quote tweet, because it was on the original tweet. So you could have gone to the original tweet and seen the evidence, okay? But I don't know, Heyzeus is like, look, Nalo's being like subversive here. He's being like he's doing some subterfuge. He's being a little ninja. He felt it wasn't necessary to include. What does that mean, Nalo? No, it literally means I felt it wasn't necessary to include because it's on the original tweet. And then right here, I said, but I'll throw these here now. I put the evidence on this tweet. As I said, it's alleged. At the minimum, though, he's misrepresenting the item with the buy order comment, which is still awful of him to do. This is totally fair. This is a totally fair tweet. I posted the evidence on this tweet reply, and I said, it's alleged.
And proceeded to give people two very convincing bits of evidence. The first was a blurry screenshot of these.
Okay, so okay. I don't know why he goes, two very convincing pieces of evidence. Oh my god, he's being all sarcastic. Bro, it's a screenshot of his inventory with the items in his inventory. Like, if that's not convincing evidence, I don't know what to tell you. It's a screenshot of his damn inventory.
Graffitis in Fano's inventory, and the second was a message from a random Discord user saying he'd moved them to a storage unit. Now, naturally, he's hidden the Discord user's identity.
Because the tweet has 115,000 views. Yes. I felt it was necessary to hide the identity of someone involved with this because it had 115,000 views. I don't want this person to go get unnecessary hate, right? Just because they assumed he put the graffitis in a storage unit, okay? That's why I hid his identity. So I think it's the responsible thing to do.
Because, if he doesn't, there's a risk Fano might turn up outside the guy's door with an ants hollow
or one of the 115,000 people that saw the tweet. Yes, Heyzeus. Okay, yes, it's not, the risk isn't Fano. Fano's probably some scrawny white nerd from Minnesota with like a loving family, okay? Like, I'm sure it's not Fano, but we had a risk of 115,000 people here.
Something, but this screenshot looked a lot more serious, with Catobuff publicly requesting Fano disclose what was in his storage unit so people knew if it was real or not. Fano acquiesced, and it turned out the screenshots were completely fake. Not that there was any humility from Nalo about this at all, instead...
Not that there was any humility from Nalo. Yep, faked image. My main point with the tweet was to show how he's misrepresenting the item with the buy order comment, hence why I didn't include the fake image and stated it was alleged. To me, it's still wrong to misrepresent items like that. I don't know. I don't know, man. I walked back the statement. This is me walking back the statement. What else do you want me to do? My bad. It was an image that I thought was real, that many other people thought was real, and even you said it could have possibly been real in this video, So, yeah, like, my bad, faked image. I admitted it. I said it was alleged in the first place, okay? It looked real at the time, and it wasn't real. My bad. I made a mistake. The buy order comment thing is still really important. He was still misrepresenting the item. Like, it was still a big deal.
He declared that the point of his tweet where he accused Fano of obvious market manipulation and implied he should lose his platform over it wasn't about market manipulation at all. It was just a commentary on the ethics of how people should talk about buy orders. The manipulation allegation, just a little side detail.
Okay. So, okay, no. We're looking at this wrong here. All of these 3 points here at the bottom, the buy order comment all the way down to the why does he still have a platform comment, those are all in the same group. I don't know why he grouped these 4 together, whatever. That's how he interpreted it. Fine, whatever. Not a big deal. But he interpreted these 4 as being together and this one being separate, but all 3 of these at the bottom are all together. He's manipulating people into believing the item's better than it actually is by saying the buy order of 45 is like this amazing, great argument for the item. That is manipulative. So those 2 points are included together. And then why does he still have a platform if he's manipulating people and misrepresenting buy orders? Those are all of these are included together in the same group. So I don't know why Heyzeus grouped the comments like this. But yeah, this was a big point of the tweet. Huge point. The two main points of this tweet were he put them in a storage unit, he owned them and put them in a storage unit, and then the other main point was the buy order 45 is the only buy order anywhere remotely high. Keep in mind, the point about him having them in a storage unit, I wrote allegedly, okay? So that point was already just an alleged point. This point was proven. You could go look at the buy order. The 45 was the only one that was anywhere remotely high. So I don't know why he's acting like I was like, you know, being all subversive about this. Like, those three bottom points are together. These are just these two bottom ones here. This is obvious manipulation and why does it have a platform? Those 2 points are for this whole thing. Are for he owns them and puts them in a storage unit, and then he's misrepresenting the buy orders. These 2 bottom ones are just general statements for all of this. So you can group those with whatever. But yeah, those were the 2 main points. So.
And Fano's ex-boyfriend Philippe wasn't doing much better either.
What's up, Sophia? Being the only female Fano.
Come on, Philippe, just admit it. You're in love with him. Unfortunately...
What, bro? Like, okay, I just wanted to include that clip because it's funny. But... But how is Felipe in love with him? By nuking his Discord server and calling him out. Like, why does this... I hate that argument, man. I just hate it. I hate it. Don't call a dictator out. You're his biggest fan. You love this dictator because you're calling him out for doing a bad thing. Like, it's this dumb argument. Clearly you hate them. Hey, you're his fan, bro. You're his fan. I don't know why he said that. How many times did he call people fans? He called me a fan of Fano and he called Felipe a fan of Fano in this video where he's defending Fano. So I don't know. Pretty contradictory, I would say. If you're making a 60-minute video defending the guy and then you're calling us fans, like, I think you're the fan, buddy.
The drama didn't stop here.
Oh, the drama didn't stop. The drama didn't stop. 1 day ago, how one tweet destroyed CS2's community. Bro, you cannot sit here and complain about how the drama kept on going the whole video and then make a video about the drama. Like, God damn, man.
Because after this event, a number of people in the community figured out that if you use...
I've already made you the soy Wojak and me the Chad Wojak.
Fano as a punching bag, you can get some easy engagement. Fano fucked up a case...
Okay, so this is in the comments of this YouTube video. I'm not going to bother, like, going that deep into it, but basically Heyzeus says that this evidence about Fano buying snakebite and fracture cases and then panic selling them, he says that evidence is actually really good evidence of Fano being an idiot, right? It's really good evidence of Fano being an idiot.
This investment 6 months ago, gotta farm some likes.
Like, that's what Heyzeus says. He says that, I don't want to go find his comment because it's probably buried down there, but, like, he says that this is, like, valid evidence. He's like, this is valid evidence, but Nalo didn't mention it. He says this case stuff is valid evidence, but Nalo didn't mention it. Heyzeus. Let's go back to the documents, shall we? Shall we go back to the documents? Shall we go back here? I wonder what that is. I wonder what that is, Heyzeus. What is that, buddy? What is that, my little Australian buddy from down under? To me, that looks like a big old screenshot of a Fano buying the cases. Interesting. So, it's good evidence, but I didn't mention it. Okay, so then what's this? I'm pretty sure I mentioned it. I think that you kind of just overlooked it, maybe. That's probably the issue here. Oh, and by the way, this skin alerts thing here, this tweet that he shows, I don't know why he found this skin alerts tweet, but not my tweet, because I'm the one who originally posted this. I'm the guy who originally posted Fano buying and selling these cases. The screenshots that are in the tweet that Heyzeus is showing here, the Skin Alerts tweet, those screenshots are my screenshots. Skin Alerts took those screenshots from me. They're on my Twitter. I'm the one who originally broke this news. So I don't know why Heyzeus is just... I guess he didn't see my tweet. Okay, whatever. So maybe you probably should have seen it in the document then, because I have the screenshot in the document too.
So this is probably a better criticism of his content than Naylor's entire 27-page document.
I thought it was 29 pages. How did it go to 27? Did you switch from mobile to like your Amazon Fire tablet or something? This is a better criticism than my entire document. It's in my document, bro. Like, like, oh, I'm going insane, man. I'm going insane. This is a better criticism, even though it's in my document. Okay.
Fano is using the same stream title format as a bunch of other content creators. Oop, here we go again.
Heyzeus. Update today, keychains, blah, 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 Arrow CS, right? Okay, so awesome. Okay, cool. We see the problem here? Anybody? Anybody want to throw out a guess what the problem is here? He's using the same, it's just the same thing that Arrow does, right? It's the same thing. No, my point is not that Fano uses a bunch of exclamation point emojis. My point is that Fano is literally saying how to make money in his title. Must watch. Copenhagen stickers. Buy now. Arrow is not doing that with his title. He's just talking about the update. He ain't telling people to go buy some shit.
Same stream title format as a bunch of other content creators. Oop, here we go again.
Must watch new it's like that's the, you need to read between the exclamation point emojis, Heyzeus. You need to read between the exclamation point emojis. He's telling people all this shit. Oh, he's just using the same stream title as everybody else. No. It's what's in the title that matters. The devil's in the details.
Fano makes a mistake about the likelihood of a team making it to the next major. Gotta tweet that out, and this tweet doesn't even quote him accurately.
I can't comment on that. I didn't look into that too deeply. I don't know about the accuracy of the quote. But yeah, that's a fair thing to call him out for. Something called accountability, Heyzeus, which I'm assuming is hopefully happening with this video. I'm holding you accountable for your misrepresentation of my points and of your misinterpretations of my document. This is accountability. You can call people out for doing stupid things and providing bad, unresearched info that they didn't double check. Okay? That's called accountability. So hopefully that makes sense.
And if you're looking at all this and thinking, why? Well, that's kind of the point of...
Yeah. I'm looking at it and thinking, why too? Oh yeah, because Fano's a terrible person that's posting terrible investment by the manipulator of the market. Yeah, there's reasons, buddy. There's reasons why. Because Fano should not be telling people all of this stuff for his own vested self-interest, and he should not be making content about something that he doesn't understand and has a fundamental lack of knowledge about. And he shouldn't be charging people for that knowledge. That's why. That's a pretty big deal. You can't just sit here and soy jack everybody. Oh, these guys are mad at Fano. These guys are his fans. You can't just sit here and misrepresent us like that and ad hominem us like that and then be like, why? Why are they doing this? I don't know.
Wanted to make. You really have the worst aspects of internet communities here, from content creators making dumb content for the sake of having something to say, to virtue signaling bullies endlessly harping on shit to farm.
Okay, so for starters, I'm not farming anything from here. Actually, I think from this post that I made, this 140,000 view post, right? I'm pretty sure I gained 2 followers from that. I've actually been hard stuck at like 2,400 followers for a super long time. I don't care about followers. I don't make content just for the sake of making content like you're doing with this video, Heyzeus. I make content when it's necessary. I found this tweet necessary because it was a big deal, and he has a following of 60,000 people on YouTube. It's a big deal people know if he's doing manipulative practices. That's why I made the tweet. You cannot just act like my intentions are whatever you've concocted in your head, right? My intentions were clean, okay? I am the person in my own head, and I'm not lying when I say this. My intentions were clean. My intentions were to point out that you probably shouldn't be listening to this guy, and to make people aware of that. My intentions were not to bring people over to my channel and to have people support me. I don't care. My sub count on YouTube just now, I just checked it. It went down from 16.7 to 16.6 because I don't even make videos anymore. I have like 2 videos in the last like month or something. Like I don't spam out content for no reason, unlike you, Heyzeus, which you're doing with this video, okay? This was dead drama and you brought it back up. I don't just spam out content for no reason. My intentions were clean. I don't sit there and farm all day. If you look at my Twitter, actually, like if you go to my actual Twitter account, it's like me talking about this fano drama because it's relevant, it just happened. And then it's like me talking about like an IT job and like me talking about like, let's just 2 likes, bro. Like me making an Uncle Ruckus joke, 5 likes. Talk about CS2 feels bad. My opinion on CS2. I like quote tweeted a Fortnite clip. I talked about the Dextero thing about like I don't farm anything. I'm just having fun. I'm just a silly little guy. I felt that there's some Trump stuff because Trump, you know, this is pretty goated. I'll probably get copyright if I put that music in there. But anyway, point is, buddy, I don't farm. You can see that if you look at my Twitter account or if you look at my YouTube channel. I don't farm. Okay, I've been hard stuck with this follower. It's not even 2,400. It's 2,200. Sorry, I'm hard stuck. I don't farm. Okay, so don't accuse me of that because it's not what's happening here.
Arm themselves attention and overly attached Discord mods acting like creepy weirdos. And
Felipe is just, I mean, that's just his thing though. You know, that's like his character. You can't call it's like calling Eric Andre like a weirdo. Like that's his character.
Has this drama been worth it for anybody?
Yes, because it got people to stop listening to Fano's advice, which was coming from a place of him having no idea what he's talking about, and it got people to stop paying for his Patreon, which they were losing money on because it was bad advice, and it also got people to realize that they probably shouldn't be watching a content creator that doesn't have their best interest in mind. So was it worth it? Yes. However, it is not worth it to talk about it a year later after everybody already decided their opinions on the subject and moved on. I went back to doing my own thing. I have a job in real life, okay? I went back to focusing on that. I might get a promotion soon. That's cool. Master Shiny, he went back to doing his thing. Fano, he went back to doing his thing. Okay? The drama's over. I don't know why you made this video. You're a weirdo, bro.
Does it reflect anything positive about the community at all?
Yes, because it has people calling out Fano for doing bad things. It's people making other people accountable. That is a positive thing. Holding people accountable is a positive thing. That's reflective of a good quality of the community. Don't try to spin this for your own narrative.
This is a scene, remember, that is overrun with gambling sponsorships.
This is completely irrelevant.
There's probably people who've killed themselves because of CS.
I don't even know why he said this.
Gambling. How many lives do you think CS gambling has ruined? Is it necessary in this context to be bashing on Fano a year later, particularly if you can't even quote him properly? Like,
why are you saying bashing on him a year later? Do you not see the sticker in the video, Heyzeus? It's a Lin Vision sticker. He's commenting on Fano's video about the Lin Vision stickers. That is not a year old.
If you're worried about people losing money, is this the priority? Sadly enough,
yes, it is.
I think for a lot of these people, the catharsis of the whole situation...
This is just your narrative, Heyzeus. This is something you've invented in your head. It's not clout farming, okay? None of us care about the impressions. Shiny doesn't care about the impressions. I don't care about the impressions. Okay? We made the stupid tweets because Fano was being stupid. That's why we did it. We didn't do it for clout farming. You can't just sit here and assume our position on this and assume our narrative. Okay? You can't just assume that we were being bad people. You're assuming the worst of us. Okay? This is not real. You're making these assumptions and these misinterpretations because you didn't read into this drama, you didn't get enough context, and you made this stupid video for no reason, just to drive hate towards the rest of us.
Probably has made it worth it for them, but...
It's not, dude. I've lost subs. Like, have you even looked at my channel? I haven't uploaded in a month. Like, I didn't gain anything from making this drama. I literally gained, like, 5 followers on Twitter from this drama. Like... It really was not a big deal. 200 people cared about this at most. Like, god damn, man.
For everyone else, I hope this drama seems dumb and pointless because that's...
So why'd you make a 17-minute video about it if it's so dumb and pointless, buddy?
What I wanted to show.
Oh, I wanted to show that it was stupid, so I made a 17-minute video talking about it and going in depth about all the points and then misrepresenting everything and making my own narrative about it. Yeah, definitely. So stupid, man.
Simple times 10 should have just stayed a meme. And
I agree. I said that in my document too. So, anyway, guys, that's my analysis of the video. That's my response. It's a bit of a hood analysis. I'm only going to edit a couple things here and just throw this out there. How long is this video? 1 hour and 41 minutes long. Okay. So, yeah, it's going to be a long upload time for me, but here we go. So, have fun with that. See you guys.